Lately, I've been thinking a lot about, humorously, humans actually just being marionettes, like that we're just all puppets, and that we're not actually, you know, making the decisions that we think we are, that our bodies are actually making. Like, I didn't think about moving my hands in this way just now. I just did. That's weird. That is weird. The other day I was laying on my bed with my eyes closed and thinking to myself, and then my eyes opened. And I was like, who just opened your eyes? I didn't open my eyes. I didn't think to open my eyes. What part of me just thought, open your eyes? And why am I always finding myself in situations that I don't want to be in, that I put myself in? How does this happen? And I sort of think, humorously, that consciousness was, maybe this coping mechanism we developed to convince ourselves that we're actually in control of our bodies and our actions. And, we come to terms, because I feel like, people do things all the time. They're like, I have no idea what I was thinking, or I didn't mean that, or that's not me. And that's a scary idea. That's not me. Who is me? What is me? The heaviest weight that I've carried around up until this point in my life is this idea that one day, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to think to myself, oh no, I have no idea who I am. What happened? What did I do? How did I mess this up? I have no idea who I am, and now I'm dying. And that was such a weight to carry around. It's so scary to me. Recently, I realized that we are not there. We are not there. We are not this or that. We are not here. We're here. You are not there. You are not there. You are here. This is where you really are. This is it. And the Western world has all of its values so backward that we get so lost and distracted and confused that we totally lose our sense of self. We have no sense of who we really are. We actually define our lives by things we see on screens and billboards. And we buy the clothes we see other people wearing because we want to look like that. This is crazy. This is insane. You are not your Facebook. I know that sounds silly. You aren't not there at all. You are here. This is where you're actually at. You're in there. You are there. We are all right here. That is powerful to realize that. In the West, everywhere, not just the West, but people will say things like, wish I had more time to read. Or, I wish I had time to read. I wish I had time to do this or that. People think they don't have time. This is crazy that people think they don't have time. What is time? I have no idea what time is. I think about time all the time. I have no clue what it is. But what I do know is that I actually am responsible for my actions. If you sit down in one spot for 3 hours and clear your mind, what you're doing is you're taking a step backward, you're going inside of yourself. And when we do that, we see, wait, where am I? Where am I at in here? First of all, we have a voice in our head. This is insane. We talk to ourselves in our heads. And I would notice, sometimes I would hear, probably shouldn't do that, and then I would agree with myself. It was always the same voice. I don't hear voices. This was always my voice. My voice would say, like, probably shouldn't do that. And one would go, yeah, I know. But I'd still do it. This is crazy. We have a voice in our head. Which one is you? We're not sure. It's not easy, is it? And when we close our eyes, we sit still. We stop distracting ourselves. Because this is what our subconscious is doing. Our false ego is constantly going, Think this, think that, feel this way. Think this, think that, feel this way. Think this, think that, feel this way. I'm walking around, I have a song stuck in my head, out of nowhere. A song I haven't thought about or heard in a whole decade. Out of nowhere, it's stuck in my head. What? That's not me thinking that. Which me is that? That came up with the idea to think about singing this song, and now I'm singing it out loud, didn't even mean to. How is this happening? Which part of me is this? Is that really what I want to be doing at all? Do I really want to be working in Chicago selling wine? No, but I do it. I did it every single day. I worked a full-time job that I hated, that destroyed me, that destroyed the relationships that I had with everybody in my life. That distracted me so much from myself, because I didn't even know yet that there was a self. I didn't know. I had no idea that there was a path, that I could have a path, that my life could be meaningful. We trick ourselves into thinking that our lives are not meaningful. That's a very heavy concept. So what happens when we close our eyes and we go within ourselves? We see, oh my God, I'm not even at home up here. I'm not even at home. Where am I at? Not only am I not at home, not only have weeds grown all around the house and ivy has taken over the door, the front door, the entrance, every window to our home. We're actually on like a locomotive, and we're just barreling. We're barreling down the railway. And like, oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? How did I get on this train? Where did this train come from? Holy crap. And you know, you look at all this stuff on the train, and you're like, what is all this stuff that I've picked up along the way? And you're barreling, you're picking things up. Oh, I picked that up. And then what you do when you slow down, stop distracting yourself, and go within yourself, you put your foot on the brake. And that train, and at first that train is, it goes, and it's abrasive, and it's hard to deal with, and it's not simple, and it feels unnatural. Because it's so different from the way we were raised. To sit still and think of nothing. Sit still and think of nothing. This is a crazy concept to even me at this moment. I understand. This is how we find ourselves. And that train goes, and finally it goes, comes to a stop. Comes to a stop. Get out, look it over. Oh my God. I picked up a whole McDonald's. I picked up all of these things, and I don't know which ones are me and which ones aren't me. How am I defining myself by things? There are things on my train, I don't even know how they got there. You tie a rope around the back of that train, and you just start pulling it. You start pulling it back to where it came from. Just pulling it, and along the way, you're taking shit off the train. You're like, no, I'm not that thing, and some things you're not sure. You're looking at them, and you're like, oh, well, that maybe that's me. Is that me? I don't even know. We'll leave it for now, and you just start chucking all this shit off that train, and you pull it, and you pull it back to your house, and you get out, and you leave the train there, because you don't need the train anymore, because now you're home. Now you are home. This is where you are. But where are you in there? When you get home, you start ripping the ivy off the door, off the windows. You go inside and you're like, dude, no wonder I have trouble feeling comfortable. No wonder I have trouble sitting still. And no wonder I have anxiety over certain things. Because my house is a mess. Everything's a mess. There's weeds growing in the house. And you have to start, you can't even find your bed. You don't know your bed is. You don't know your couch is. There are more dirty dishes in your sink than exist in the whole world. And you gotta start washing those dishes. Start pulling out those weeds get these weeds out. Find your bed. No wonder you have trouble sitting, concentrating on who you really want to be and actualizing and fostering truth and wisdom and growth in your life and in the lives of others. You can't even find your desk because it's so cluttered in there. You got to clean out your room. You got to get to that desk. You got to sit down. That is where we're at. This is where we are. We have to slow the train down. We have to stop the train and go back home. We have to go back home. And what happens when you get back home, you realize, what is this door? You're noticing doors you didn't even remember were in your house. You're finding doors you swear you didn't even know about. The architect must have built doors without in rooms and hid them from you because you didn't even know there. You were there. They were there. You find a kindness door, a patience, and a generosity door. You find your heart. You find it in there. Our heart is who we really are. I don't believe that I don't mean that organ in there has some sort of weird spirit that drives us. I mean that what we are, our self, is really just our heart. We find the key to those doors in there. We open it up. We realize, oh my God, I am kind. I am generous. I have patience. When you feed somebody else, I got this feeling the other day. It was incredible. It was incredible. It was so wacky. I was holding a star fruit and a passion fruit, and I was eating both, and I felt like royalty. I felt so good. I just picked them off trees. I felt such an overwhelming sense of joy. And I saw the chickens. They had just been let out of their coop. And I saw them, and I threw my fruit down because I was like, I wonder if they'll eat this. And they kind of walked over and pecked at it a little. They didn't love it. They ate it a little bit. Usually they're too distracted to focus on anything you give them anyway, unless it's like one specific kind of food. Anyway, I had this moment inside of me that said, and I know this now. I know this. It said, when you feed somebody or something else, you are feeding yourself. And I felt it. I felt it. That is who we are. We need to give. We take, we distract, we take. Think this, think that, feel this way. Think this, think that, feel this way. Think this, think that, feel this way. No, that is not who we are. We are in here. When we realize that, when we get home and realize that we are generous, we are patient, we are kind, that every moment in our lives is supremely important to everything and everyone, that is when we become powerful. That is true power, to go home and find yourself. That's not out there. It's not out there. You won't find it anywhere but in here.